I wanted to show you what we deal with here in Newfoundland on the rock. Since we started gardening here, it's been quite difficult actually to put a shovel in the ground, because every time you do, you get rocks. Everything from small rocks to big rocks, and I'll show you what I've been doing with them rather than paying to lug them away. So when we dug out this garden here, this is all of these along here and around all the edges are the rocks. So we edge everything in rocks. These are the ones that we just pulled out of this little garden area right here. And when we till it every year, we still find more rocks. It's like it just grows rocks. So these are fairly small rocks. These are what we consider a small stone in the yard. And then we have everything edged even here in the woodland garden. We just try to make shapes with all these rocks everywhere. And then we also have some rock piles. So alongside the compost here, I usually seed some plants in amongst it, so when the weather gets nice it covers it up a little bit. And some plants there. We have rocks here. This all came out of a little half-acre. More rocks. These are the newest ones we've been hauling out. And also randomly place them in amongst the flower beds. More rocks. And even more. And here we go, here's a few more. Now, when we have boulders, I like to make cascading boulder gardens, and I actually just made one. I had a stacked stone drywall that just kept falling in. It was just a small one, so I made a boulder wall. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to make a boulder wall. It's not just as simple as sloping off your soil on a 45-degree angle and then just laying rocks on the front of it. Nothing looks worse than that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you my new boulder wall and tell you how I made it. First of all, I want to show you an old boulder wall that's well grown in with lots of plants, and it looks really good now that the plants are all grown in around these massive big boulders. And hopefully the other one will start looking this nice in a few years. Looks very natural, and the way that rocks would naturally fall. So here's the newest boulder wall we installed, making use of all the large rocks that we pull out of the ground on our property. And the plants are not grown in amongst it yet, but as you can see, the stones are not just laid on the face. I've noticed that some people, when they create a boulder wall, they'll slope off the dirt and then they'll just lay a stone in on the face of the dirt, and these stones can then roll off and it doesn't look as natural. So what we do is we start with the largest stones and just dig a flat base, as flat as you possibly can, and on the flat of the ground wedge in your large stones at the bottom. Then you want to take your dirt and pull it down over the tops of all of these stones, and soil naturally falls on about a 45-degree angle, so let it fall on the 45-degree angle. Then as you add in the next layer, what you want to do is dig a flat platform into the dirt and lay the stone in there. This stone is actually quite deep and it goes in beyond. So you just take your rock hammer, dig a nice hole, place the stone into the hole and flat down, then pull more dirt down over the rocks and let them settle in there as they would naturally. If they roll down a hill, they'd be rolling down with dirt, and the dirt would settle in around them. And continue on till you get to the top, doing the same thing. Pull the dirt down over the rocks, put in a nice flat surface, dig it into the wall, lay your stone, and then pull more dirt down over it. And then all you have to do is poke some plants in between, and within a year or two they'll all fill out, cascade around all of these rocks. It's a great way to make a retaining wall. So these stones are retaining about a 3.5 foot high difference in ground height from here to here, and these are not going to move anywhere. They're not going to fall out like a dry stack. Boulders on the bottom, and all of these stones, yes, every one of these stones came out of our ground when we were digging to plant something. So every time you stick a shovel in around here, I'm telling you, it's rocks. Just look at the size of these rocks. So you don't have to try to get them carted away or pay to move them away. Use them around the garden. That's what we've been doing, and actually it turns out pretty nice. I'm happy with it. So we make use of what we have here on the ground. If you spend like a half an hour trying to pull out one of these things, my husband, he hates these rocks, but anyway, you want to make use of it, not just throw it away. So, and over here is one we did a couple of years ago, and it's filling in here nicely. I absolutely love this. Is one of my favorite plants. This lady's mantle, we got it in a field nearby, and it's just, this is pretty much the north side, all shade, and it's so lush and green, and it fills in around the rocks. Just looks beautiful. Love this plant. Let's take a look, and I love how it catches the raindrops. Isn't that beautiful? So these are the rocks, living on the rock. When you garden around here, this is the type of thing you'll find, pull out of your vegetable gardens and flower beds. Just pretty much everywhere there are rocks. So I hope you enjoyed my little rock rant, and how you can make use of all the rocks that you pull out of your garden.